Hey, crafty friends. All right, for today, we're doing something a little bit different. Last week, Altenew had a pretty big sale on their inks, and so that is kind of what has prompted this video because I am in the process of collecting all of their round fresh dye inks. And so I picked up several of the quads last week on the sale, and so I thought this would be a good time to show you how I kind of organize and store these, because when I started collecting them, I really wasn't finding a lot online that I liked or worked well with my space. And so the first thing, I do swatch all of these inks. I only swatch them with their quad. I do not do them individually. I just feel like that is way too many things hanging on my ring. A lot of my other inks I do. And so the Altenew inks do come with labels that you do have to purchase extra. I will say on the sale last week, a couple of them that I bought came with the labels. So I was pretty excited about that. So on the labels, you can see I've already used some of these. They give you each one for the individual label, and then they also give you the name of the quad. And so for that, I attach here at the top, and then I list out the individual colors just from left to right, so lightest to darkest. So I like that. That has been working well for me. And they always give you a lot of extra fun little things on their label sheet. So I like that as well. And then this is something that is on their website, and I will link it below. I love all the free resources that Altenew does on their website. This is their Fresh Dye Ink product checklist, where you can keep up with if you have the round ink pads, the mini cubes, or the re-inkers. And so it has all of them listed here. And I will say they came out with some new ink colors. I can't remember if it was like the beginning of this year or the end of last year, but they are very quick to update these sheets. So that is really nice. So this is how I keep up with the ones I have. I'm only collecting the full size round ones. And so here I put an X over the round one to indicate if I have it. And then I use the mini cube to let me know if I have the coordinating label. Because at one point, and I still have some of the labels, but I don't have the ink pads, because one point I think they had a sale on the labels. So I stocked up on those. So that is how I do that to keep up with the ones that I have so that I can check that. And then I also had picked up their sample cardstock bundle over the holidays. I think it has maybe 80 different colors. And so I keep up with that by I was hoping I could find one that didn't. Here we go. If it has a dot next to the color, that lets me know that there is coordinating cardstock. And then if there is a dot and check mark, that tells me that I have that coordinating cardstock. So I love that. It just helps me. This is probably super extra, but this is like what works for me and how I like to be organized. I want to do something on my swatches to indicate if I have the coordinating cardstock, but I have not decided how I want to do that. All right, now we're going to get into how I store these ink pads, because that's kind of how this started. I was looking online and just didn't really find what could work for me. And so I like what I've done now. So I'm going to kind of just take you over here to where I store those and walk you through what I use and how I've got my setup. All right, let's get to it. Okay, I'm on my phone on a tripod here, so I'm hoping this isn't like too wobbly, but here we are. Okay, I've got two different ink pad holders here, one on the left, one on the right. I store mine on a shelf. That is what works for me. Both of these holders, you might be able to see, has a little notch there to hang on a wall, and they actually give you everything for that. I'll be honest, I find them to be pretty sturdy. I don't think I would trust them hanging on a wall with my inks. So if you're looking for something that you can put on a wall, I probably wouldn't suggest this. With that being said, I have not tried it. All right, so the one on the right is originally the one I was using, and it was actually full. I've kind of spread them out since I placed that order. This one is originally for square ink pads like the Distress inks. I actually had my Lisa Horton Interference inks in there for a while until my Altenew inks took it over. And so I store them on the quad. I have just removed some of these shelves to create room. And so in this stand, it is actually a two-piece. You can see where it rounds here. That's the bottom half, and then there's a topper. You can purchase those separately. Again, I'll have it all linked below, but the way it's set up with the topper, you can hold 20 quads. I am utilizing the space on the top to add another 4, so that gives me 24. And then this other one is actually for the slim inks. I use this for my Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated inks. I actually had my Distress Oxides in this before. That way I could keep them all together. So again, I've just removed the shelves. Now you see I've got some kind of folded paper here at the bottom. That's to keep these ink cubes from going all the way back. And so with this setup here, I can hold 25 quads in the holder, and then utilizing the space on top is another 5, so that is 30. The combination of these two things will allow me to hold all of them. Once I get all of this collected, it will be a little while. With the exception, it will be, I'll have to have one quad somewhere else. It's short. If they keep adding more, I might need to think of something different. But so far, this has really worked well for me. When I was looking online, I saw a lot of people storing them in drawers and different things. And I knew I wanted something out and visible. So this is how I do it. Let me know if this is helpful to you in the comments, or if you have other storage ideas for the Altenew inks. I am all ears. Please put that below. I would love to see what you're doing. If these are kind of videos that you like, I'd appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.